In this video, we will know some information about the country of Japan. I hope you enjoy the video. Japan, the state of Japan, a large group of islands located in the far east of the globe, specifically in the Pacific Ocean. Its capital is Tokyo, and it is dominated by rugged mountainous nature, and the height of its highest mountain peak is about 3,776 meters and is called Mount Fuji. In addition to Japan's reputation for many volcanoes active and passive, and given this mountainous environment and what it means of poor soil fertility in Japan, the moderate temperatures in it, with abundant rainfall in most of its lands, allowed the population to grow a variety of crops, most notably rice and fruits, and agricultural areas are often low population density, in favor of industrial areas that are characterized by high population density. This is in addition to environmental pollution, and these two environments imposed on Japan a complex society of great contrast, as the agricultural areas are characterized by adherence to Japanese customs and traditions more than the industrial areas that are more Western in character. But we can say that the industry in Japan played a major role in its economic and technical progress in the beginnings of the year 1950 AD, and this was reflected in the educational field in it, as Japan is one of the countries in the world with the lowest levels of illiteracy. The state of Japan is an archipelago consisting of more than 4,000 islands, 4 of which are the largest. In area, it represents the vast majority of the area of Japan, and it is called the main islands that appear clearly on the map of the country, and the largest of these 4 islands is Honshu Island, which has a length of about 1,300 kilometers, followed in second place by Hokkaido Island, which is located in the far north of Japan, then followed by Kyushu Island in the extreme southwest. The last, smallest, and least populous of these main islands is Shikoku. Japan site. The archipelago of Japan is located, as mentioned earlier, in the far east of the continent of Africa, and Japan does not share its borders with any country. On the western side is the East Sea, and the archipelago of Japan extends over a total area of about 377,835 square kilometers, with a coastline of about 29,751 kilometers. Regions of Japan. The following is a list of the most famous regions in Japan. Hokkaido. It ranks second among the 4 main islands in terms of area, and is located in the far north, which makes its climate very cold in winter with heavy rain and snow, and temperatures that drop below zero cause water bodies to freeze in it, while summer temperatures do not rise. The heat is a lot, which makes it the ideal destination for snowboarding and outdoor enthusiasts. Tohoku. It is the largest of the islands of Japan, and it is a rural area characterized by its mountains, lakes, rice plantations, hot springs, and very cold winters. Emen caused severe damage to the structure of the island in addition to the risks that resulted from the damage to the nuclear plant. Kanto. It is the largest plain in Japan, and is characterized by its high population density. Among its largest cities are Tokyo and Yokohama, which belongs to the Kanto region, which consists of 7 prefectures. Chubu. This region is located in the center of Honshu Island, and it consists of 9 affiliated prefectures, in which Mount Fuji and the Japanese Alps are located, which are among the highest mountains in the Japanese archipelago. Kansai. Known as the Kinki region, it has been the political and cultural center of Japan for centuries, and is located in the Osaka Plain, and consists of 7 prefectures, and includes many cities such as Kyoto, Osaka, Nara, and Kobe. Chugoku. It is located on the western side of Honshu Island, and it consists of several main areas, which are the urbanized industrial Sanyo, which is located along the coast of the Seto Sea, and the rural area of Sanin, which is located along the coast of the Sea of Japan. Shikoku. It ranks 4th in terms of area among the 4 main islands in Japan, and is located in the southwestern side of Honshu Island, and Shikoku is made up of 4 prefectures. Kyushu. Ranks 3rd in terms of area among the 4 main islands of Japan, and is located in the southwestern side of Honshu Island, and was once the center of Japanese civilization. Okinawa. It is located in the far south of Japan, and it consists of a number of islands extending from Kyushu to Taiwan with a length of more than 1,000 kilometers. Its islands can be divided into 3 main groups. The first is the Okinawa Islands, the second is the Miyako Islands, and the third is the Yaeyama Islands. Japan population. According to United Nations statistics for the year 2021 AD for the month of July, the the population of Japan reached about 126,087,248 people, living on a total area estimated at about 364,555 square kilometers, about 91.8% of the population in urban cities, and they constitute 1.62% of the total world population, as Japan ranks 11th in terms of population in the world, as the population density is about 347 people per square kilometer, with an average age of 48.4 years. The official language in Japan. The Japanese language is the official and national language in Japan, spoken by more than 124 million people, noting that both the state of Palau and part of Brazil speak Japanese, as the reason for this is due to immigration from Japan, and what is indicated is that phonology in Japanese is characterized by the presence of an open syllable with a vowel ending. The education system in Japan consists of 12 years, including 6 years of primary school, 3 years of preparatory school, which constitute a total of 9 years of compulsory education, followed by 3 years of secondary school, then 2 or 3 years in vocational colleges or 4 years in university. Students with mental and physical disabilities, and allocated a special needs education system for them to enhance their self-reliance and support their participation in society. Japan's economy. Japan's economy depends on industry in general. In the late 19th century, the industrial sector began to develop rapidly and included light industries. With the beginning of the 20s and 30s of the last century, Japan turned to heavy industries to strengthen Japanese imperialism. Despite the destruction of the industrial sector during World War II, it managed to rise in the late 50s of the last century. It became one of the most industrialized countries in the continent of Asia, and became the third largest economic power after the United States and China in the early 21st century. As for the agricultural sector, its contribution is shy to Japan's economy, as it contributes about 2% of the Japanese gross domestic product. For silk, this is in addition to raising livestock and fishing. Japan's natural resources. Japan lacks the natural resources on which the industrial sector depends, such as natural gas, oil, gold, coal, copper, and iron, so most of its reliance in conducting its industrial activities was on importing energy and raw materials from abroad. As Japan is the largest importer of natural gas, and the second largest, it is an importer of oil in the world, and the period before 2011 AD, Japan went to use fossil fuels manufactured in the nuclear plant that was closed due to many earthquakes and tsunamis, and replaced it with imported fossil fuels. The ocean floor that surrounds the archipelago contains large amounts of natural resources, but they have not been optimally exploited. Flag of Japan. The flag of Japan is known as the flag of the rising sun, and it is a piece of cloth with a ratio of height to width about 3:2, respectively, with a diameter of 3/5 of the height of the flag, and it is distinguished by its white background, in the middle of which is a dark red circle symbolizing the rising sun. Tourism in Japan. Many tourists from all over the world go to Japan because of its mysterious beauty and rich culture. Kyoto and Nara are famous for their elaborate temples and monasteries. Tokyo and Osaka serve as a center for urban development. There are many train stations in Japan, the most famous of which is Shinjuku Station in Tokyo, which is the busiest station in the world, and Japan provides a great variety of different activities such as skiing in Niseko, diving in Okinawa, visiting national parks in Yoshino, and wonderful beaches in Shizuoka and Chiba, and there are many Japanese foods that are famous in the world such as Japanese sushi, and ramen, and sashimi. You can visit Jigokudani Monkey Park located near Nagano. The park is famous for the presence of wild snow monkeys, and the Kiyomizu Temple located in eastern Kyoto, which dates back to 798 AD, can be seen, and Himeji Castle is a wonderful building and the best example of Japan's castle architecture, and Todaiji Temple is considered in Nara as a place worth visiting, as it is the largest wooden building in the world, and tourists can climb the Tokyo Tower, which is the second tallest building in the world, and the Tokyo Imperial Palace is a center of administration and a tourist attraction, and it includes the museum that displays the art and history of Japan, while Mount Fuji it is one of the most popular tourist destinations for visitors in Japan. Topography of Japan. The archipelago of Japan is dominated by rugged mountainous terrain, as we mentioned in the previous paragraph, as it abounds with tall, steep mountains lined with trees, the highest of which is the Fuji Peak, which is located in the southwestern side of Tokyo, and this summit is a dormant volcano with a height of about 3,776 meters. At the bottom of these mountains lie valleys on the side of the Pacific Ocean, interspersed with hills and low mountains extending along the Sea of Japan. Shinano is the largest of these rivers, and it should be noted here that the large number of active volcanoes made Japan seem to settle on the crater of fire, which is the reason behind the occurrence of devastating earthquakes and tsunamis, as Japan contains approximately 108 active volcanoes. Facts about Japan. To know more about Japan, you must know the following facts. The principal of the school in Japan eats the food allocated to the students half an hour before they eat it, in order to ensure its safety without the presence of any harmful substances in it, in order to preserve the safety of the students. The people of Japan are a rich and educated people, and they are a people who do not use any maid or housewife in the homes, because the father and mother are the only two people responsible for the house and the children. Ethics is taught in the school from the first grade of primary school until the 6th grade of primary school to teach them all manners and how to deal with others. A cleaner in Japan is called a health engineer, and his salary is very high. Japan is considered the second most economical country in the world despite being exposed to many earthquakes and volcanoes throughout the year. School children are given 15 minutes each day to clean up their classrooms. If something is offered to you, it is good manners to accept it and not refuse it, because they consider it rude to refuse. When going to a wedding or funeral, it is advisable to take a sum of money as a gift. Facts about Japan. The following are the most important official facts about the archipelago of Japan. Official name, Japan. Local name, Nihon, Nippon. Local official name, Nihon Koko. Total area, 377,915 square kilometers. Capital, Tokyo. Official language, Japanese. National currency, yen. Religion. The vast majority of Japan's population follows the Shinto religion and Buddhism, and a few of them do not exceed 2% of Christianity. National holiday, Emperor Akihito's birthday on December 23rd. Famous places in Japan. The following is a list of the most famous places in Japan. Shinsekai. It flourished after the war in 1912 AD, and many recreational areas were established in it, and the old Japanese character prevailed in it. Tateyama Kurobe Alpine Route. This rugged road runs deep into the northern Alps. Kanazawa. The capital of Ishikawa Prefecture of Honshu Island, and occupies a narrow area of it, and is one of the most important cultural and artistic centers during the Edo period, as it contains museums that include a lot of samurai heritage and culture. Shirakawa Gu. A village located on the outskirts of Mt. Hakusen. It is characterized by its rustic and traditional character. Kurama Islands. The Kurama Islands chain is uninhabited, and is the ideal destination for lovers of the sea and hiking on the ocean coasts. Hakuba. A resort that attracts ski lovers in the winter, and lovers of warmth in the summer. The Imperial Palace and its surroundings. It is located in Tokyo, built in 1868 AD, and is distinguished by its thick walls and spacious green gardens, on which the speed walking competition was held in the 2020 Olympics. Hirosaki. It is characterized by its beautiful and picturesque scenery, and is famous for its ancient Japanese traditional character. Otaru. A port city, it was one of the main commercial and financial centers in ancient Japan, and today it has become a center for artisans who make many Japanese handicrafts. Miyajima. A coastal island that was once sacred and contains a shrine, with a red wooden gate. Dinosaur Museum in Fukui. It takes the form of a large silver-colored egg, located between the hills. It is the largest dinosaur museum in the world, and the largest in Japan. It includes a dinosaur research center in it, and it is visited annually by about 700,000 people. Gion and Higashiyama. Stretches along the eastern side of Kyoto, famous for its many UNESCO World Heritage temples, and is home to the army. Dotonbori. A modern city crowded with shops and restaurants serving traditional Japanese dishes. Coastal Iwate. It was formed after the earthquake and tsunami in 2011 AD from rock formations, and contains many caves and beaches. Sapporo Beer Museum. It was established in 1987 AD for the beer industry, and it was renovated in 2016 AD. Next to it is the modern Sapporo Brewery, which contains many cafes and restaurants. Japan is one of the developed countries in the world, which it was able to build with the hands of its hardworking people to advance its economy to become among the strongest economies in the world despite the poverty of natural resources and the mountains, and it is considered one of the strongest countries in education in the world, and it is also one of the ancient countries that dates back to nearly 30,000. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new updates.